It was good. I didn't go to a regular school. I went to a special school. And there was 2, 3, 4 sisters and 2 brothers. And then when my mother passed away, I ended up in Pineland.
How old were you then?
I was 10. Then.
So what was it like when you went there at 10?
Well, I really didn't like it where I was at first, but when I got into one of the buildings, I met Maryann Preble. That was one of the residents at Pineland. And when we both went our separate ways. I didn't know what she was until I got into Super. And I met her, and then we got back into being friends.
So you first made friends with Marie when you were 10 years old in Pineland. What were your days like when you were 10?
If we wanted to go outside, we had to let them know we went out. We were like fenced. They had a fence around, and we had to go in that, or either in that or in the building, or if we wanted to go up by the canteen and sit, we could. But we had to let them know where we were. And we went up to the hall where they serve the lunches and breakfasts and suppers. When we come back, we had to get ready, take our showers or stuff, and get our clothes, because they had our clothes locked up in. We didn't have our separate closets. They had it like everybody's clothes was right in one closet, and for the next day.
And were you going to school at that time?
I went to school for a while. Then I worked in the laundry down at Pineland for a while. And then I came out and had an apartment. Then I had an apartment with a roommate.
So how did you get out of Pineland and into an apartment? What happened there?
I went into a home, group home. I was in Thailand, and then I was in a group home.
So how did that happen? Whose idea was it?
When my family come to see me, and when they had took me out, I could go see them and come back, and then they finally took me out, and I lived with my brother and my sister-in-law for a while, and then finally I went out and worked out and got an apartment, and got another apartment with a roommate, and then I met my husband, and in Randolph, a friend of ours, and then we dated for a while, we got married, and he ended up having, not strokes, but heart attacks and stuff, and so he had to go into a nursing home where he needed more care than I could give him. And he didn't like that too well. He kind of blamed me for putting him in a nursing home. And we tried to tell him that it wasn't my fault, that he had to be in a place that he could have more care. And so I moved out of the trailer from Litchfield, and I lived in a group, well, into a apartment house where there was older people. And then I moved out of there and moved into one of Charlene Canelli's apartments on 2nd Street. And then I made out an application for Art Spader Apartments, which I could, then I got in, and then it was a little closer for me to go back and forth to see my husband. Because where I lived in Hollowell, I had to be on the outside to get the bus at a certain time to get back to Hollowell where I was living.
You wanted to go see your mom?
Yeah. And then when I got into speaking up, I didn't know anything about speaking up for us until Jeremiah and Paige had asked me to go to one of the meetings.
And who were Jeremiah and Paige?
Jeremiah was one of the people that lived in Augusta. And then Paige was the first South Advocate that started speaking up for us of Maine. And so she asked me to come to one of the meetings. And when we went to, and then they had done a video on Marie at one of our meetings, civil meetings.
Was your friend from Pineland?
Yeah. And so when they did the last part of her interview, they did it at Pineland. And I went to support her, and they didn't know I was from Pineland, so I got to be in the last part of this picture this. And
It was the PBS documentary.
yeah. So that was, and so I've been past board member for 4 years. I'm off board for a year. I still do a lot of things for Suku. If things that need to be done down to the office, I go down to the office, or if there's things that she wants me to do on my computer, I do that and send it, email it to her. I went to the forum last night at the City Hall, and they were talking about the budget, that budget cut that Baldacci has proposed, more budget cut and the merger. And I told them what I thought. And then after we had done that, Channel 8 News was there, and they had asked if Carol and I would like to be interviewed and talk to the video people, and we said yes. And some of the things that I told the camera guys that I'm afraid of if the merger goes through and the budget cuts, that I'm afraid that I may lose my worker, I may lose my homemaker, some of the services that I get from my homemaker. And if I need him, I call him, and if he's not there, I leave a message on his phone. He gets right back to me. He comes to see me if I need anything. And it's like, and if BGS and DSH combine, then I don't know what's going to happen.
So you don't want the services that you rely on to be interrupted.
And I told them that when I was in Pineland, I was there when I was 10, and when I went out when I was 16, I was there for 6 years, and I told them that if I ended up losing my apartment, that I didn't want to go into a home or anything that would be going backwards. I wanted to still be going forward, not backwards. Because I am very popular in the community. I do things for the church. I used to go down to the nursery to help with the kids down there. And I go to the women's ministries at the church. And I'm going to a women's night out tonight, and then tomorrow we are going, some of the ladies from the church are going to a conference-like thing. So, I'm pretty busy, I'm not home much.
Got a lot going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I like it. And everybody likes, I keep them pretty busy with the nursing home, and they keep me pretty busy. On Tuesday nights now, they have me go over call Peter for the residents.
Coffee,
And they like that. They want 2 nights instead of 1 night. I said I'll have to ask Bobby Joe.
Oh, who's that?
He's the person in charge of activities.
Oh, at the nursing home. See if she said it. When we were at the training in June, you mentioned that you really wanted to say something in particular to the kids in the school system.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that? Just that you want the kids to know?
If they need to talk to somebody, or if they're in trouble, go to someone in the school, or go to your mother at home if you're in trouble from the school, or that way they can help the kids in the schools instead of getting in fights and.
And before you were telling us about your niece, you want to talk about your niece?
I have a brand new niece. Her name is Elizabeth. It's my niece's little girl. I have 2 nieces. One's name is Jennifer, and the other one is Shannon. And they're my sisters. They're my sister-in-law's kids. And Jenny is grown up, married, and has a little girl. And I've got to see her when she was really small. That's the first time I've seen her. And hopefully by May, they'll be moving back to Maine, and I'll be able to spoil her more.
Is there anything else you want people to know about your life?
I really enjoy being out in the community and helping the people that need the help, like the nursing home or things like that, to keep myself busy instead of staying at home all the time.
Thank you.